We are back with our final segment with Kevin Connelly and, of course, our much-anticipated Weasel of the Week that you don't want to miss tonight. Kevin, there was a controversial bill signed into law by Governor Christ about sort of allowing developers to bypass the Department of Community Affairs and to go to local governments to waive some of the urban density requirements. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I really feel that the entire effort has been a distraction from what they should be focusing on. And that is, how do you diversify the economy of Florida? And if you look at the last legislative session, very little was done in that regard. They're not addressing the true issues of why Florida's economy doesn't attract manufacturing. They're not addressing the issues of unemployment. And my heart aches for the families that are gathered around their kitchen tables every night. At least 10% of the Sarasotans without a job, wondering how they're going to pay the mortgage, how they're going to take care of their kids. I think government needs to be much more responsive than they've been.
What do you think about the cap-and-trade legislation? This is something where the Republicans are saying that this is going to really hurt the economy, and Democrats are saying this is something that's got to be done. What do you think about cap-and-trade?
Cap-and-trade only works if everybody does it. If you exempt the Chinese, you'll have just basically create a flood of manufacturing further leaving the United States. One thing that most Floridians aren't aware of is that 50% of our mercury air pollution comes from outside the state. Most of it is on the jet stream coming out of China through the coal burning plants over there. And you'll pick up your Florida Fish and Wildlife warning saying, don't eat freshwater fish because of mercury contents. Now, can you imagine that if we had a cap-and-trade program? You can't handle the pollution with mercury. How are you going to handle the other issues?
So the problem with cap-and-trade, as you view it, is that some of these big countries like China, maybe India, won't play ball, won't participate, and
absolutely,
we're sort of unilaterally disarming ourselves economically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, what about all this federal stimulus money that's out there? Are we getting any of that in Sarasota? How can we do better?
It's coming down in dribs and drabs, but most of the money is going into plug holes in the state budgets because of tax shortfalls. And one of the programs we're trying to get is to how do we go out and provide shade on the literally hundreds, if not thousands, of unshaded playgrounds throughout Florida. And we know that the American Cancer Society is saying shade is one of the most important things to provide, because 80% of a person's lifetime solar radiation will occur before a person's 18th birthday. And we have the ability to shade the playgrounds, and we're trying to identify federal stimulus funds that can be applied for that. And we're doing digging. We haven't found yet, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, when you're a young kid, you're always out running around. You're not putting sunscreen on. You're running around on the beach and playgrounds, and that's when you're getting most beat up by the sun quite a bit, huh?
Absolutely.
So you view that not just as an economic issue, but a health issue.
It's a health issue, but it's also where we can put a lot of people back to work.
Okay. Now, Sarasota County has sort of evolved. It used to be a solid Republican county. Now it's 50-50. Obama got 50% of the vote here. Do you see Sarasota County as becoming more balanced politically? What do you see the future of Sarasota County politically?
Well, one thing I do hope is that the people will follow the advice my father gave me years ago, which was do your own thinking. Look at the issues and decide, not by party, but by individual, who best represents your views and who can get the job done.
So vote for the individual, not party line.
Exactly.
What do you think about people who vote based on newspaper endorsements? You know, you see some people walk into the polls and they've got them cut out, you know. What do you think about that?
They're letting somebody else do their thinking for them.
Yeah, they sure are. What about you? Any future in politics? You thinking about getting politically active again, running for anything? What about it?
No immediate plans. I've got a small manufacturing company I'm trying to take care of, and I got people looking to me to keep the jobs coming.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on you anyway, okay? Thanks for coming on the show.
Very much.
All right, now, of course, time for our Weasel of the Week.
Pop goes the wine and the weasel. I see the empty pocket needs a refill.
Well, our Weasel of the Week this week is the mayor of Venice, Ed Martin, leader of the gang who just cannot shoot straight. He sent an email to two of the candidates for Venice City Commissioner, Emilio Carlissimo and Jim Bennett, suggesting to them a couple of the hot-button issues that they should raise during their campaign. What he conveniently left out is the best issue anybody can raise if they're running for Venice City Commissioner, and that is all of those bums need to be thrown out for corruption. He failed to mention them using that as a campaign issue. Here's my advice to Emilio Carlissimo, Jim Bennett, Harry Wally, and anybody else thinking about running for Venice City Commissioner. Stay away from Ed Martin and the other commissioners. That's the worst possible thing that you can do. Ed Martin sent out some more emails suggesting these things, which now he says is not city business. Just a bad idea. With these lawsuits swirling, with them getting sued constantly, more billable hours for the plaintiff's attorneys, more money that's going to have to be paid out